Most of the time, games keep it simple. You've got heroes to root for, villains to fight, and a goal to chase. But every now and then, one of your own turns on you. Sometimes you see it coming. Most of the time you don't. And when someone you trust betrays you, it hits harder than any boss fight. In this video, we're going through some of the worst betrayals in gaming stories. The kind you don't easily forget. 6 from Little Nightmares 2. 6 was the protagonist of the first game. The one you watch survive and the one you learn to care about. So even though you're playing as Mono, she feels familiar, like someone you've already formed a connection with. But then again, the 6 you're with now hasn't become that person yet. Throughout the game, you spend most of your time helping out 6. You pull her out of danger, solve puzzles together, and make it through the worst parts of a collapsing, nightmarish world. So when the Thin Man takes her, of course you'd go through hell to get her back. But when you finally rescue her, the world around you starts to collapse. But that's okay, because all you have to do now is run together, like you always have. So she runs ahead and you follow, trusting her to lead you out. And just when you think you won't make it, she catches your hand, like she's done so many times before. But this one moment changes everything. And that's when it finally hits. You saw a glimpse of 6's darkness in the first game, and it maybe even lingered in the back of your mind. And now you're watching her condemn Mono to a fate worse than death. Because Mono doesn't just fall, he becomes the very thing he fought against. The Thin Man was Mono, after 6 let go. And if you think back, maybe the Thin Man wasn't trying to hurt you. Maybe he was trying to stop you from caring for her, from trusting her, from becoming him. Because in the end, the thing that broke Mono wasn't the fall. It was her. A Way Out is a co-op game about 2 prisoners, Leo and Vincent, working together to escape and to take down the man who betrayed them both. It's designed from the ground up to be played with someone else. You fight, sneak, survive, and work side by side through every moment. And for most of the game, Vincent feels like the level-headed one. Compared to Leo, who's impulsive and reckless, Vincent is calm and strategic, the kind of guy you trust in a crisis. Together they escape prison, survive shootouts, and chase down the man who ruined both their lives. The game spends hours building that bond, not just between Leo and Vincent, but between the players. But then, it takes a turn you never expected.
Here you go. Good job, Vincent.
I'm sorry, Leo.
Vincent wasn't just some guy caught up in the same mess. He was an undercover cop the entire time. The friendship, the escape, the shared goal, it was all part of the mission. And what makes it brutal is that the game doesn't end there. It makes you finish it. 2 men who made it this far are now forced to turn on each other, and no matter who survives, the ending will be tragic. One dies while the other walks away, but nothing about it feels like a victory. Wheatley, Portal 2. At the start of Portal 2, Wheatley's just this clumsy little robot who's trying to help you escape. He's awkward, kind of useless, but genuinely trying, and for a while that's comforting. He guides you through the wreckage of Aperture, helps you survive test chambers, and even helps take down GLaDOS. So, when the chance comes to swap GLaDOS out and put Wheatley in control, it feels like the right call. But the second he plugs into the system, something's off. He starts acting differently, still rambling, but now it's like he's drunk on power. And then, right when you're expecting to make your escape, it happened. The voice that was cracking jokes with you just minutes ago suddenly has this smug, punchable tone.
Actually, why do we have to leave right now? Do you have any idea how good this feels? I did this! Tiny little Wheatley did this!
He locks GLaDOS in a potato, he mocks you, and then he drops you both into the depths of the facility like you're nothing. To be fair, Wheatley didn't turn out to be some evil mastermind. He just got a taste of control and completely lost himself in it. But the worst part is you were the one who gave it to him. Early on in San Andreas, Big Smoke feels like someone you can count on. He's the first to welcome CJ back to Los Santos, always cracking jokes, always riding with you. Out of everyone in Grove Street, he's the one who actually seems to have your back. But as the story moves forward, something feels off. Smoke's missing from key fights, he makes excuses, and he's not around when things go bad. Then Caesar hears a rumor, something bad and something he doesn't want to believe. But he needs CJ to see it for himself. So they wait nearby, watching quietly. And when they see who steps out, it all clicks. Smoke wasn't just slipping, he was in deep. Working with the Ballas, helping Tenpenny, and even tied to the ambush that killed CJ's mom. What's worse is that the betrayal doesn't come out of nowhere. It's been brewing in the background the whole time. By the time you reach him at the end of the game, he's sitting at the top of a drug empire. And when CJ finally confronts him, Smoke doesn't even apologize.
What happened to you, man?
Man, what the fuck do you care? I guess we better do this shit then.
This is someone you trusted, slowly revealing who they really were. You just didn't want to believe it until it was too late. You spend most of Diablo 3 thinking Adria is an ally. She helps you fight demons, aids Leah's survival, and seems like just another survivor in a broken world. And if you played the original Diablo, you'll probably remember Adria from Tristram, the town witch who sold you potions and scrolls. She was mysterious, but she was part of your support system back then. So when she shows up in Diablo 3, it feels like seeing an old ally. But something always feels a little off about her. And then she doesn't just turn on you, she uses her own daughter to bring Diablo back.
And now, my daughter, you shall serve as his vessel.
Leah thought she was being guided, but all along, what seemed like guidance was just veiled manipulation. She was meant to carry on Deckard Cain's legacy. Instead, she became Diablo's vessel. Now, Leah's gone and Diablo is reborn, and that resurrection leads straight to the assault on the high heavens. It's cold, calculated, completely irreversible, and it ended everything Leah could have been. General Shepard, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. General Shepard isn't always there, but when he is, he's the voice of control. Confident, calculated, and the one who seems to have a handle on the chaos. So when he sends Ghost and Roach to retrieve intel from Makarov's safe house, it feels like just another mission. The operation is brutal, but you were able to push through and secure the intel. You did a good job and everything went according to plan. And then, Shepard shows up.
You have the DSS. We got it, sir! Good. That's one less loose end.
Everything you thought you were fighting for collapses in seconds, and you realize the betrayal didn't start here. It started in the first game, with a nuclear blast that killed 30,000 Marines. Shepard wanted revenge, and so he started a new war, and one he could control. And to do that, he needed to be seen as the hero. But the intel Ghost and Roach recovered didn't fit his narrative, and it exposed him too much. So he erased them, a clean execution to tie up loose ends so he could finish the war on his terms and call it justice. For most of the early Assassin's Creed games, Lucy was your anchor. The one friendly face in a world of Templars, machines, and cryptic ancient tech. She's calm, smart, and always there when it felt like Desmond had no one else to rely on. She even broke him out of Abstergo and brought him into the assassin fold. So of course, when the Apple of Eden seized control of Desmond's mind and made him stab her at the end of Brotherhood, it was heartbreaking.
It is done. The way lies all before you. Only she remains to be found. Awaken the sixth. Go, alone.
It all happened in a flash. No warning, no struggle, and no fight. Just a moment of confusion, and then she's gone. And for a while, that's all you get. But then, revelations happened. And hidden in an old Abstergo email, you learn the truth. Lucy secretly defected to the Templars, and she'd been working with Vidic all along. Her mission was to earn Desmond's trust and eventually bring him back to Abstergo. For a long time, you believe she's an assassin through and through. But you learn that maybe She never really was. For most of BioShock, Atlas is your lifeline. This soft-spoken man with an Irish accent is the voice in your ear and the guide helping you survive Rapture's chaos. He checks in constantly, gives you direction, and even shares personal stories, like how he's trying to save his wife and kid. It's the one stable thing in a city that's completely falling apart. So when he asks for your help, you give it. Not just because the mission says so, but because you trust him. And then, you finally reach Andrew Ryan, the man you've been told is behind it all. But he doesn't attack, he doesn't even run, he just talks. And that's when it hits.
Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Ryan shows you just how little control you've had all along. Your memories weren't even real. And every time you thought you were making a choice, someone else was pulling the strings. And Atlas? His name was Frank Fontaine. And the accent, the mission, the sympathy, it was all a lie. Every step, every decision, every moment of agency is just part of the script. You weren't a free thinker you thought you were. You were just a tool built to obey. At the height of the Terran Civil War, Arcturus Mengsk led the Sons of Korhal, one of the few groups still standing up to the Confederacy. You fight alongside him as Jim Raynor, and by your side is Sarah Kerrigan, Mengsk's top ghost operative. She follows orders, gets results, and when it matters most, she puts her life on the line. She's also Raynor's closest ally, and more than that, she's someone he cares about. Mission after mission, you help Mengsk turn the tide. But the deeper you go, the more ruthless he becomes, and the more lines he crosses. At one point, he even begins luring Zergs into populated areas, which wiped out entire colonies just to destabilize the enemy. When it came time to take the Confederacy's final stronghold, Kerrigan was sent in, deep behind enemy lines, to plant another emitter. She knows exactly what it means, that the Zerg will swarm the area. But she carries out the mission anyway. And then she radios for extraction, but no one answered.
This is Kerrigan. We've neutralized the Protoss, but there's a wave of Zerg advancing on this position. We need immediate evac.
Belay that order. We're moving out.
What? You're not just gonna leave them.
All ships prepare to move away from Tarsonis on my mark.
Boys, how about that evac?
Damn you, Arcturus. Don't do this.
It's done. Helmsman, signal the fleet and take us out of orbit.
This wasn't a mistake, nor was it a tactical oversight. It was always the plan. This betrayal caused Raynor to walk away and become a rebel, turned Kerrigan into the Queen of Blades, gave the Zerg intelligence, and made Mengsk the tyrant he once fought to destroy. From the start of MGS3, the boss isn't just a mentor for Snake. She's a legend. A soldier, and a hero in the shadows. The one who trained Naked Snake and made him who he is. So when she suddenly defects to the Soviets, it feels like a huge betrayal. She shows up with Colonel Vol'jin, she attacks Snake, she hands over US secrets, and disappears behind enemy lines. And the game makes you sit with that. You chase her across enemy territory, not just to stop her, but to understand her. And eventually, you face her. You fight, you win, and you kill her, and then you learn the truth.
Snake, listen to me. She didn't betray the United States. No. Far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
She didn't defect, and she didn't betray her country. And everything she did for the mission. She was ordered to take the fall, to be the villain, and to be erased, so Snake could be the hero. And she accepted it. Not for glory, not for recognition, but because that's what her country asked of her. It's not the kind of twist that leaves you shocked, it's the kind that leaves you hollow. Because what hurts is, this isn't the kind of betrayal where you can pin the blame on one person. Not with everything that was at stake. Yeah, maybe the higher-ups could have made a better plan. But it wasn't necessarily personal, just a decision that turned loyalty into tragedy. But when everything's said and done, you just wish it didn't have to end like this. And that's it for this list. There are definitely more out there, but these are the ones that personally stuck with me the most. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.